Transitional justice are a set of measures and processes which are set up by a state or by a society in order to deal with the legacy of past human rights abuses. So these measures can be judicial measures, for example criminal trials, or they can also be non-judicial measures such as truth-seeking initiatives, reparations for victims, vetting of members of the security forces, art projects, and there are also initiatives which can be set up by the state and in certain circumstances also by civil society. The ultimate objective of transitional justice is to offer justice, redress, and recognition to victims of human rights abuses. So the objective of transitional justice and of disarmament, demobilization, and reintegration programs for ex-combatants is to contribute to sustainable peace. DDR tries to do so by dismantling armed groups and by facilitating the social reintegration of ex-combatants. TJ in turn aims to contribute to peace by addressing the needs of the victims and by addressing the root causes of the armed violence. In addition, both DDR and TJ processes also place communities at the center of their work, both as beneficiaries and as direct participants of these processes. So TJ and DDR share common objectives as well as stakeholders. There are sometimes concerns that the implementation of TJ processes can discourage ex-combatants from participating in DDR programs. However, in practice, we've realized or we've noticed that failure to also address the needs of the victims alongside the DDR process can seriously hamper the willingness of communities to accept the return of these demobilized ex-combatants, and they can also lead to resentment to fester and therefore contribute to ongoing inter- or intra-community violence. It is therefore important to ensure that TJ and DDR processes are designed to be as complementary as possible. Guarantees of non-repetition are measures that are aimed at preventing the non-recurrence of past human rights violations. They form a key pillar of transitional justice, and they can, for example, involve the adoption of institutional reform measures in order to dismantle the abusive capacity of these institutions, but also to improve their human rights performance, monitoring, and accountability. But guarantees of non-recurrence can also involve educational reforms, such as, for example, changing history curricula. It can also involve measures to address the root causes of the violence, but also measures to change beliefs, perceptions, and institutional cultures which have facilitated the commission of human rights abuses. TJ actors can thus work together with DDR programs to establish such preventative measures aimed at ex-combatants, in particular in the context of re-educational programs and community violence reduction programs, which are generally set up by DDR programs.